back to my channel and welcome to the start of this vlog. I wanted to do a vlog where I am getting back to work after the break. So it's currently January 3rd, it's Monday, and this is the most Mondays of them all because it's the start of the new year. It's right after the holidays. I just had a super long break and it was so nice, and whenever I have breaks it's always like much needed, but the struggle with me is that it's so hard for me to get back into my routine after a break. Even if it's like a 4-day break, like it is so hard for me. So this is a little bit of a struggle. I started really late this morning. It's 10:45 and I am just now getting on my computer. So I have a lot to catch up on. So right now I'm going to be checking my emails, and I haven't checked my emails since Wednesday or Thursday of last week. Since like the 30th maybe. I don't even know when it was, 30th, last time I checked my email. So I have a lot of emails to catch up on, and I am actually sending out a quarterly report to all of our advisors and investors and letting them know any updates with Rella. So that's what we're doing right now. I have to check on Slack, I have to just catch up with things. So I wanted to kind of take you around my day. But this morning I did a nice little walk and I couldn't even bring myself to go to the gym. Like, this is what I'm saying. My routine is all out of whack after I come back from a break. So I'm back in Florida, sitting down on my computer and gonna do some work. I wanted to show you guys exactly what Rella's quarterly newsletter looks like, especially the first one of 2022. So this is what we send out to all of our advisors and investors, except the investors get an additional financial report, which I won't be showing here because that is a little bit private, but pretty much we break down how much money we have in the bank, our burn rate every single month, what the money goes to, the percentage that is allocated to marketing, to our employees, to development, and we just mention more about our finances to our investors. So here's the one that gets sent out to our advisors and mentors. When I first started writing my very first newsletter for our advisors, I had no idea what to put. I was like, how formal do these have to be? How casual? And obviously every company is different. We are a startup, and so I had Googled so much about what the heck do I put in this. So I wanted to show you guys in case any of you ever have to write one of these, you can save it for reference. But of course you just want to be warm and welcoming, and I wanted to kind of share the story of Rella because I think that that's what the coolest part about Rella is. And then I broke down everything into different categories. So we talk about app development and any updates with that. We talk about our community, which I think is the most important part about Rella and the coolest part about Rella, and things that other brands can't necessarily duplicate or replicate. We talk about our marketing efforts. We talk about PR and press. We talk about the team and any team updates. We also talk about fundraising, and then I obviously just wrap it up by thanking everyone, and I also let them know that they can contact me if they have any questions. So I spent a lot of time searching for something like this, spent a lot of time just wondering what I should put in one of these newsletters. So I hope if any of you are going through the same thing, or if any of you are, you know, founders of startups, hopefully this helps, and if not, I at least hope that you found it interesting. Let me know if you want more of this type of content on here, because I can show you the behind the scenes, I can show you the exact stuff. I think this video is very much like deep in the nitty-gritty, like you're a part of the team. So let me know if you like that. I wanted to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know, Squarespace is an all-in-one website builder, and it is the easiest way to build your website. If you haven't checked out Rella's website, definitely check it out because it has a new and improved look, and it's made possible because of Squarespace. We designed it all on Squarespace, and they just make it so much easier to integrate with all of the different tools that we're using. We can also see our analytics on there, which is cool. And another feature that I actually highly recommend is to make your link in bio website on Squarespace. You can customize it, you can make it your own, and then you get advanced analytics that Squarespace has to offer. It is so much better than using any other tool, and it just makes it so much more custom. And what I love about them is that all their websites are so customizable. There are so many beautiful themes, and no matter what you're building, whether it's an online store, portfolio, a store for your company, you can customize it however you want and make it look exactly the way you want, and no one else is going to copy you, no one else is going to have your exact website. So if you want 10% off your first Squarespace order, I will have it linked down below. You can use my code NatalieBarbu or just go to squarespace.com/NatalieBarbu. But thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. It is so windy, so I really hope that you hear me outside, and I'm going to take our call, which is a whole team call, and we're first breaking it up by department, where we're talking about our reflections of the past year, how our role has changed. I'll actually show you the template so that you can see, and then I'll show you what everyone said. But I'm meeting up with Natasha. She does the marketing and design, and then the other marketing people and design people. And then we're gonna come together as a company and talk about our reflections as a team. I'm really excited about this because I feel like this is one of those moments that a lot of times your head's down working and you don't ever spend time to reflect, but I really want to begin implementing that into Rella. I want to create a company culture that is, you know, that you allow people to speak their mind and to say how they're feeling and to, you know, constantly be improving, and we want to be a very innovative team. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm about to log into this meeting and, you know, see what everyone had to say about their reflections, and I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to share with you what everyone said. But yeah, I'm super excited to be doing this.
Thanks for joining us, Natalie.
Hi.
We just finished up the meeting. We no longer need you.
Sorry, I was with Natasha outside.
Me too.
Oh,
You are needed.
sorry. I was outside on the call with Natasha, and it honestly was like cold, so I had to run inside and set up my charger. And thanks guys for coming on. Hopefully everyone had a good Happy New Year and a good start to the year, or at least, I don't know, enjoyed their break. But I am so excited to talk about the reflections and goals. It made us all reflect on the year and reflect on kind of what we've been doing, which I think is important. Like I was telling Natasha, I feel like a lot of times we're very heads down and working, which is great, but it's really important to be, you know, reflective and kind of think of our goals for the future and what we've accomplished in 2021. So does anyone have a hard stop? Because I think this is going to go past 10:30. So I first wanted to talk about just a little reflection that I just started like writing things down of what we've accomplished and kind of like what our goals should be in the new year. And then I wanted to go over, you know, the document that Natasha had sent over. So I will share my screen. Okay, so I just wrote down this document, really talking about what we've accomplished in 2021. And Natasha, your video, your reel helped me look back on what we've actually done. Definitely watch it. I know she put it in the Slack, but I think it's also on like Instagram and TikTok. But we've accomplished a lot this year. I mean, starting this year, we were literally just an idea. Like we just came up with the name Rella thanks to Tess and Natasha. They came up, we had so many different names, and I would love to like look back at our previous name options to see what they would have been, because I don't even remember them anymore. But I'm so happy we stuck with Rella. It's just like flows, it's nice, I love it. So that's...
Sorry to interrupt, I actually don't know where the name comes from.
So it's from the word like relatable. That's kind of what it stems from. And then also like Rella kind of sounds like it could be a human name, but it's not like a common like human name. Kind of like Bella or like Eleanor or something like that, because we wanted it to be about like relationships, and also the word relationships. I mean, like Natasha and I compiled a ton of words of like what we wanted it to be like, what we wanted it to embody, and then we stemmed from that. So.
We brought the team together also to legally form Rella, so we actually became a legit company in 2021. We designed our logo. We came up with our very first website, which looking back now, like compared to the one we have now, it's like, wow, in progress. Like it's always cool seeing that, like even just like a actual, like even in the designs, like how much progress we've made. We began making introductions to other established founders and investors. We started our Slack channel for our Rella community, and also quickly ended our Rella podcast. And we also started our Instagram and TikTok account. We began developing the app. We designed the marketplace part of the app. We'd had a soft launch of a Rella connection tool, which ended up not really working out, which honestly is something that I learned, which I'll talk about in the future, of like when we were going to like connect brands and influencers on the back end and all of this, like just did not work out, but we learned something from that. We were accepted into an accelerator, and we were also semi-finalists for a grant. We hosted 2 webinars this year, and we posted every day on TikTok for Vlogmas, which is a huge accomplishment. We also released Rella to beta testers, so we have 100 and I believe 20 beta testers on the app right now. And we released Rella to the App Store for pre-order. So the fact that all of that happened in a year, I think, is a huge accomplishment for all of us. I really can't believe we've done all of that. Like, I think that that's insane. Like, from starting off with not even having a name to not even having like a single written code like for the app to literally being on the App Store and having thousands of people on a wait list, I think is a really, really big accomplishment that we can all be proud of. And what I've learned is that we don't need to rush into the next like shiny idea before thorough market research, focus groups, making sure the product is quality. I think a lot of times in the beginning we're just like excited about things, and so we wanted to kind of like develop everything and put things out quickly and be one of the first ones to do something, but it usually fails if you didn't actually do the proper research behind it and didn't do it with conviction. So I think that that's definitely one thing that we all could say. And then also one thing I learned is that you don't need to be everywhere at once, but you need to be where your customers are. So meet your customers where they are. For example, the podcast, I think eventually we'll have a podcast in the future, but it just wasn't really the right time and it wasn't necessarily where our customers were. So we didn't need to do that. But like TikTok, for example, is where our customers are, so we need to meet them there.
I think that's honestly a great review of 2021. And it's crazy to think how much has changed from the beginning, not only in the product, but in the team and the team dynamic. Just to reiterate on what Natalie said about every one of you, I think that the timing was perfect, the team is perfect, and it's only going to get better in the future. Because I don't know, we probably told the Louis story 1,000 times, but he emailed us like months in advance for the software consulting company we had, and it just wasn't a good fit. And finally, it just kind of, timing is everything, So I think the timing for 2022 is going to be crucial as well, and just making sure we're hitting our marks and metrics and keeping each other accountable.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about the team other than the fact that we are spoiled, and I'm kind of scared and mad at everybody for setting the bar almost too high. It's going to be very difficult to continue to build out a team of this caliber. Not to say it's impossible, but it's going to be hard. So we have our work cut out for us for sure. So thank you, everybody, for making our jobs harder. Again, and as Natalie touched on it, leadership ability, and everybody absolutely love it. So that's all I have to say there. Just spoiled beyond any measure.
We're on the same page. So I'll share my screen again with the reflection and growth from everyone. So we came up with a summary. So instead of reading everyone's, which we'll have this available if you guys want to read them, but we'll come up with just a summary of kind of what we heard. So instead of just sharing my meeting, because I feel like that can get kind of boring, I'm just going to show you what I was discussing and kind of show you what we were talking about. So we all filled out this one summary form, and you can kind of read through everyone's, but we talked about overall reflection and level of fulfillment with the work that we're doing. Everyone said that they were fulfilled, which literally made me more happy than anything, especially just as a co-founder of Rella. It made me so happy that our team is fulfilled, because I think a lot of times, a lot of effort goes to the user and the customer, which is true. I mean, it should be, but you also need to make your employees happy, and you need to have a good team. We talked about wins and areas of excellence. I would say that the community we've built and our team's work ethic has been an incredible win, and then I would also say our communication has been a win. As for challenges and areas of growth, I would say just our organization, continuing to educate ourselves in the industry, and having every single team member really understand the customer experience and the user experience, and being consistent with the systems that we do have in place. So one of the examples we used was testing products before we, put them out there. And so I would definitely say that that's something that we got to continue. Also, thoughts on roles and how it's evolved. Everyone's pretty much said that the evolving nature of a startup and like constantly wearing many hats and, your role always evolving. And one of the biggest changes is to, have more like specific responsibilities. Any times that you felt slighted or uncomfortable. Thankfully, at this time, no one has felt slighted, but that's not to say that that won't ever happen. So we want to make this like a safe space where people can come and tell us. process, but then also making sure that we keep everyone in the loop to be left out, because I think sometimes that can cause a little bit of uncomfort when you feel like you are left out if you aren't like that involved in every area. And then big picture for what we're building, I wanted to talk in present tense, and I wanted to say that Rella is the leading tool for influencers to run, structure, and manage their business to increase their success. We want to constantly continue to launch new features, and our main ones that we want to prioritize is the marketplace and the desktop version, and we want to constantly have feedback from our users. And then our action steps, quick summary, would just be to come up with a more structured system for us as a remote team. We're always improving on that, and just rolling out more features in sprints rather than giant projects and releases. So it's kind of a summary of what I explained for probably the next 15 minutes on that meeting.
And actually, one of the things that I had said is when I felt uncomfortable, what was it? Here. So the times I felt uncomfortable is when we're planning for future features and future plans without clear estimates on like time and resources and what it's going to take from every member, from every department. So I think that that's just kind of goes hand in hand with just the sprint planning, being more, transparent about like how do we actually get this done rather than just having an idea and like not knowing the steps that go behind it.
There's a lot of parallels between this and the dev one, I think. Just in terms of the communication and how the roles have evolved and how everybody, has been very proud of all of the work and aware that roles are gonna change.
Not to be defensive, but in the beginning of any product, there's always going to be that ambiguity. And I think as we grow and actually have these now set benchmarks and milestones of features we want to hit, now that we do have a baseline of a product out there, that will become easier to define those metrics. And I'm not going to promise that it's always going to be a defined timeline, and timelines are always going to be broken. But I think to your point, it's going to be nice that we can be on the same page on that and make sure that we're holding each other accountable on hitting those milestones in the correct timelines.
That meeting went really, really well. I'm just like so proud of my team, and we got so insanely lucky. Like we keep saying that, but we really did get so insanely lucky. So that meeting was great. We're gonna start doing those once a quarter so we can actually keep up with our goals and really see where we are and if we're on track. And that just like recharged me and re-inspired me, and I'm so excited to continue working today because that just made me so happy.